Hello my dear students, welcome to computer science class. Let us continue with our chapter, that is spreadsheet. In our previous video class, we have seen the different options like how to sort your table, okay, like how to use the custom sorting. You can even sort ascending or the descending order. Then we have seen the filter option, advanced filter, how to have an pivot table, right? And then we have seen the different types of charts. In this today's video class, we shall discuss like how do we write a formula and what are the different kinds of formulas and how to use it. So herein we are actually having the different kinds of formulas based on arithmetic formulas, date and time functions, okay, then financial functions, logical functions, text and statistical, different kinds of functions have been there. But before to that, what is a formula we should understand? Formula, it's an equation that performs the operations on worksheet data. Formulas can perform any kind of mathematical operations such as addition, multiplication, and they can even compare the values also. Therefore, we can even use the constants in the formulas. Therefore, we refer the formula to be as an equation that can perform the operations on worksheet data. Now here in ESS, as I said, there are many built-in functions like arithmetic, data and find. We can even refer them as predefined function. By the help of these predefined function, we can perform the sum of those numbers, find out an average, calculate the payment on loan, perform the average, count option, minimum, maximum, all these built-in predefined functions we can use. Now what is this predefined? Predefined is nothing but whose meaning is already been given, what exactly the perform operation that function has to perform. Now here are some of the built-in functions like sum, average, minimum, maximum, count, okay. Now herein the function name requires the argument. Suppose if I use a inbuilt function known as sum, then it requires an argument. That means we need to arguments in the sense here we need to pass the cell numbers, or you can even pass directly the values also. So that is what is arguments in order to complete the task. Like similarly to the average, minimum, maximum, all these built-in functions require some of the arguments as the sum number. Okay, we can perform all these operations by using an function, that is by using an option known as auto sum here. Auto sum is a kind of function that would help you to calculate automatically the sum, average, minimum, maximum and count. Now herein if you look at this one, let us consider certain values in this particular sets, like D3 is having some value, E3 is having some value, F3, G3, H3. If you observe, all these are that is the cell numbers, isn't it? Cells have been represented with a column name followed by the row number here. So what happens is, manually if you have to perform the addition of all the values in this particular cells, then I should write a formula that is equals to D3 plus E3 followed by F3 plus G3 plus H3. So these cell numbers I should manually write formula like this. Now instead of writing the formula, I can use a function, built-in function known as AutoSum. In this AutoSum, I can use a built-in function known as sum. So just by using this particular function name and passing the range of this particular values, we can automatically perform the addition of all these values that have been present in this particular cells. Okay, let me explain that one with an example. Like how do I write this formula by using the sum function? Here is a formula like, what is the syntax here? Is equal to followed by the function name followed by the arguments. So herein is equals to sum. I need to specify the range here. See, one thing is you can write D3, E3, F3, G3, H3. Manually you can specify all the cell numbers which you want to perform the sum of those. Otherwise you can even specify the range of the cells. You can specify the range of the cells when you have a common row or the common column. When you look at this, you have a common row, right? So from D3 to colon H3, when you write this way, it will select all the values between the range between D3 to H3. So herein I have given this, adds the numbers in the cells present in the D3 to H3 and the values between them. So it will perform the sum. So therefore, auto sum, it is a tabulation tool actually that is used to quickly add the number in the consecutive cells. Consecutive cells in the sense like the values which are there in the cells which are one after the another. Now herein we shall see how do we start actually formula in the ESS, that is electronic spreadsheet. So first thing, we need to click in the cell where you have to perform the calculations. Okay. After you clicking onto the cell, that cell becomes an active cell. Then place an equals to sign. If you are using any inbuilt function or any normal function you would like to write formula, then formula will always begin with an equals to sign. Suppose if you skip the equals to sign and if you write the formula, that will not perform any kind of calculation. So equals to is a must. So click the first cell to be added. Their example, it was D3. ESS would automatically enter the cell name like B3 into the formula. Whichever cell you want, you need not to manually write the cell number. You just click onto that, automatically it takes the cell name. Okay. Then to add the additional cells, you need to keep on typing the plus signature. You need to keep on. Otherwise, you can use the range of cells also. Then click the next cell to the add like D3. Then click the cell that is E3. Next click the cell F3. Like that consecutively you have to keep on selecting the cell. Now here in the last step is continue alternating the plus sign and clicking the cell that you want to add. So like this you can keep on continuing selecting the cells until what you need those values to be added. So here in just in simple, you should know what is a formula. Formula is nothing but it is a kind of equation that could perform any operations on worksheet data. Then we should know that formula always begins with an equals to sign. See, one thing is you can use the built-in function or manually you can write the function. Okay, one thing is you have to specify the cell numbers explicitly or you can even choose the range. Now all this one I'll be showing you with an practically how to use this. Here is an Excel file for me. Okay, so I'll take a different new sheet here. Sheet 3 I'll be taking. So here is a sheet 3 students. What I'm going to do is, so I had values here. Some values I'll be typing here 12. Okay, and then next 34. Some values consecutively 35, 1. Okay, any value. Okay, like this some values I have typed. One thing, if you want to perform the addition of these values, what did I say? You need to select where you want the sum, place the equals to sign. Okay, then select the values. Okay, D3, then place the plus sign. This is one manually. Then select the next cell, then place the plus sign. Okay, then again the next consecutive cells. Like this you have to manually select like this. This is the one way, students, like how do you perform the calculation in the Excel. Clear? And then choose the next one and just click on to the enter. See, I got the sum of all these cells. I'll just make it as bold here. Okay, and I can use the format painter. For what is the use of format painter? It will copy the formatting from one place to the another. See, here I have given increase the size and then have made it bold. Here it is not applied, so I'll just use the format painter option and just click on to where I want the same formatting. Click here. Automatically whatever the formatting is been applied to this data, the same formattings will be applied to the rest. So this is how manually you can write a formula. What if you doesn't want to write the manually formula and you want to use the built-in function like called as in sum? Then how to write a formula? So what I'll do is click onto the cell where you want the formula is equals to. So write here as sum. Okay, so the moment you start a type, you will be getting some list of formulas. In this you can choose any one. Choose it and click onto the tab will insert you. So it is telling number 1 comma number 2. See, number 1, okay, then comma number 2, okay, comma number 3. Like this you can manually select. Now I don't want to select like this manually. What is the thing is, I want to use the range of the cells. How to use the range of cells? See, one thing is you have to write manually here. What is the cell number here? It's a D1, correct? So D1, how to write the range? D1 colon you have to use up to what you need. What is this particular cell number? That is D7. So I'll take it as D7. See, it is showing you the range. Whether you have done it correctly or not, it is showing you the range. So click on to the enter. Like this manually you have to write the formula. Otherwise what happens, you doesn't want to even write it, just you need to select it. See, these are the different ways I'm showing you how you can quickly calculate the the formula. So directly choose the range, you need not to even write it, and then click on to the enter. Automatically it will perform the addition. I hope you are understanding. Okay, now similarly some other operations also we have here as an auto sum. This is an auto sum option, students. Here you can have here, click on to this, you have average. I want to find out the average of that. So see here 16.7. so I'll just use the format painter here. See, 16.7 is an average, is equals to average, the range it is taken from, right from D1 to D8. If you don't want this one of this particular cell, what you have to do, just change the formula here, is equal, D1, you let it be the same, and you want up to only D7 and just click enter. See, 9.571 is your average, and now you want to count how many number of values are there. So you just click on to the again auto sum option, count the numbers. The very next you will get here, it is as 9. Clear? Similarly, out of this, okay, I want to know how many, what is the minimum and maximum value. Click on to the maximum. Okay, you got 67 is the maximum. See here, auto sum option will automatically insert the function and automatically selects the range of the cells from D1 to D10 is equals to max. That's an inbuilt function. Now similarly, if I see for the minimum value, so take the minimum value, 1 is your minimum value. Like this you can use all the options related to the auto sum. Now herein I want to even show the autofill option here, student. Now see here, I'll just click on to one. Okay, you want the numbers like this, you want the numbers. So I cannot, I don't want to type these numbers till, maybe if I want till 50 or something, I don't want to type it. What I'm going to do is just drag here till 16, 17. Can you see the numbers till 50 I want? So 58, 57, 50, 50 I want. So 50. Click on this. See here, I didn't write manually anything. What did I do is, I'll go for the control Z here. I just selected, write the numbers, how many you want, like 1, 2, 3 you write it. What you do is, you can, once is double click, okay, once you select this one and just drag your cursor till what desired number you want. So automatically it will fill you. Okay, this is an auto fill, that is fill series. I hope you are understanding. Now it's not only apply to this numbers, even for the text also. Like if I try to type in here Sunday, okay, the next one here I'll try to type it as Monday. Okay, the next one here, if you are trying to type it as Tuesday, I want to fill it. What I'll do, okay, just drag it till what you want. You want till next Saturday, drag it. Automatically the text will be filling with the next series. Now what if you want the continuation? What if you want? So that also you can do. You need not to retype it again. So this is what is a autofill option. Okay. Now let us continue with our PPT, children. So this one we have completed. You come to know how the basic formulas we need to use. Now let us begin with some predefined functions we are going to discuss here. We are going to discuss based some problems, okay, like how to use the formulas and all. So here is my first problem. Like through the Excel we can solve the problems. So first problem is to determine the thickness of one sheet of a paper. A ream of paper contains 500 sheet. A ream in the sense a bundle. One bundle consists of 500 sheets and its thickness is 4.89 centimeter. They are asking you to calculate the thickness of single sheet. Alright. So the question here is we need to determine what is the thickness of each sheet, wherein when I have a bundle of 500 sheets into it and each one is of, the total bundle thickness is about 4.89 centimeter. Then how do we calculate this? See, the first thing is we need to determine the thickness of single sheet here. To determine that, we need to divide the total number of thickness, okay, by the total number of sheets in the given bundle. So this is how we have to write the formula in an Excel sheet. Okay, so we need to, how do we solve this problem? We need to divide the total thickness by the total number of sheets here. Okay, now let us see how exactly we have to solve this and how we need to record the values. See, you need to record the known values. What are the known values here, children? The total number of sheets and the total thickness. So how do I represent the solution in an Excel file? Let me show it here. So I'll open the Excel sheet here. So I'll come to the sheet 1. Already I have typed some whatever that I have designed it in a table way, where so this is a place wherein I would like to find out the thickness of the each sheet, which is in the form of centimeter. Now what is the formula? As I said, the total thickness divided by the number of sheets. Now how do I begin my formula? By placing an equals to sign. So this equals to sign is being placed in formula. See, one thing is you can place the cursor over here and you can start typing. Otherwise, click onto the formula bar and start typing is equals to. So I will manually, if you want, you can choose this B2 divided by E2. This is my formula. So instead of that, I'll just click onto this and place the division operation and then place the, that is the cursor to the A2 cell. So after you type in the formula, click onto the enter. So I got the thickness of each one sheet is 0.00979 centimeter. This is how you can calculate the formulas in the Excel. I hope children you are able to understand. Now let us move on to the next problem here. The next problem here is that is calculate the distance traveled if you run around a football field 6 times, where the length of the field is 109.80 meters and its width is 48.80 meters. They're asking you to calculate the entire distance traveled when you run around a football field 6 times, given the length of the field and the width of that particular field. Now here, how do we calculate the distance traveled? We have to calculate the distance traveled by finding out the perimeter, field's perimeter, isn't it? So how do I find that field's perimeter? It is by, we need to multiply by the number of laps. Okay, that is how do we find the perimeter is, of course, the sum of the distance of each side of the field we have. Therefore, what will be the formula to find out the perimeter? That is 2 into length plus the 2 into width. This would be my formula, children, here to find out the perimeter of the that is the total perimeter of the total field. Am I right? Next. Now we should also remember that this is the third question, don't worry about this. We should also know that the distance traveled in 1 mile is equal to how many meters? 1609.3 meters. So this conversion we are going to use in our Excel file. Let us see how do we write the formula here in the Excel sheet. So herein I have already designed the table for you, wherein the number of laps I have taken it as 6, the length of the field I've taken is, and the width of the field also I have written it. So how to write the formula here too? The formula should be the number of laps into the perimeter of the field. So what should be the number of laps into perimeter of the field is 2 into length plus 2 into that is width. Now where I want that formula to be there here. So place a cursor over here is equal to, where is your number of laps children, which cell? That is in A23. So A23, the number of laps into the perimeter I said. So A23 into, okay, and then we have a complex formula. So I'll be using the flower bracket, that is 2 into, what I should have, 2 into the length of the field here children, am I right? Then plus 2 into, that is width, okay, and then close your bracket and click on to the enter. So this is the total distance run, which is in the form of that is in the form of meters. Now I wanted to convert here, that is in the form of here 100, and it is in the meters. I want it in the miles. Then how do I convert? We know 1 mile is equals to 1609.3 meters. Then what I should do is, that is we have D23 divided by, what is this, which cell? I23. If I write, I'll be getting the total distance run in terms of miles I'll have. So what I'll do, I'll just place an equals to here and then click on to this D23 divided by, we need to have, this is I23, and just click on to the enter. See, 1.182 total miles it is taken. I hope you are clearly understanding how to write the formulas. Clear? Then let us continue with the next question here. What's my next question here? Given the quadratic equation, that is 2x, that is formula here it is 2x square. Okay, it was not superscript, so I've just changed it. 2x square plus 8x plus 7 is equals to 0. They're asking you to find its root. We all know that the general equation of quadratic equation to solve its root is x is equals to minus b plus or minus b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So herein what happens, we need to take out the values in this particular equation. We need to find out what should be the a value, what is the b value, c value. We know as per this equation a value is 2, b value is 8 here, and the c value is 7. We need to write this particular values in the particular cells, and this is the formula to find out the positive. If the root is positive, then minus b2 here I have taken, because I think in a2 I have entered the value as 2, in b2 I have entered the value as 8, and in c2 I have entered the value as 7. Accordingly, that here I have written the formula. Otherwise it should be minus b plus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. This is how. This one is minus b minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. This is how it's a formula. Let me show you how did I write the formula in the Excel sheet. It's a lengthier formula here. So I've directly written the formula for you. Okay. See here. But here if you observe, my value of a value is in there in A45, b value is there in B45 cell number, c value is there in C45. So how do you understand these values? These values I didn't type. What I did is, when you place a cursor, look into the formula bar. It is showing you what formula did I apply. That is minus B45, that is minus b plus the square root of, right, b square. That is b square. You see here exponential form, how do I use it? So b square minus 4 into a value is a45 into c, that is c value is c45, whole divided by 2a, 2 into a, that is 2 into a, in the sense a cell is a45. This is how I have written the formula, and once you write a formula, click on to the enter. I got this one as a root. What about the second one here? Okay. So when I place over the cursor here, just it is a change of the sign over here. The same formula is with the same cells I have written. So this is how you can find out the roots of the quadratic equation. Let us move on to the last problem. Herein, the volume of a sphere is given by the formula V is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube, where r is the sphere's radius and pi is equal to the, have given the value. This value only you have to assume when you are performing the calculation. The volume of the base is here, it is given 7,200 centimeter cube, and they are asking you to determine the radius of the ball. So to find out the radius of the ball, don't you think you have to reduce this formula? Isn't it? So how we can rewrite this equation here, children? R is equal to, when you have rewrite this equation, I want to find out the radius of the ball. Definitely I need to modify it. So R is equal to, we have a cube root of 3V divided by 4 pi. This is how I have to modify it. Understood? So if you solve, you will be able to reduce this equation to this particular format, wherein I have to find out the radius of the ball. Okay, so I am going to, we know anyway the base of the volume is 7,200, isn't it? So how do I write the formula? So according to this I should write, so see here how they are taking the cube root here, 3 into A2 divided by 4 into 3.142, that is pi value it is. To the exponential form, we have taken cube root, it is 1 by 3, 3V, this is 3V. In A2 cell I have taken the volume here. So 3 into V divided by 4 into pi, that is 4 pi, okay, raised to, this is exponential form, that is 1 by 3. Or you can even use the built-in function pi instead of taking this value. Pi is a built-in function here. Instead of this value, you can just follow this pi and followed by the round parenthesis. Clear? Let me show this one, the execution in the Excel. So this is a volume. They're asking you to find out the radius. Directly I have written the formula here, children. That is 3 into V. So V is in which cell here? That is in A64. That is the reason 3 into A64 divided by, that is 4 into pi. Here I have just taken the value 3.4159. I have taken the value explicitly I have mentioned, and the exponential form with 1 by 3. That is 3 cube root I am taking. So when I click on enter, I get this particular radius of this particular ball, that is 11.97 centimeter. I hope students you are able to understand how to use the built-in functions and how to solve the problems in an Excel sheet, how to begin the formula. Okay, hope I think you have found this session interesting. In our next video class we shall deal with some other date functions and statistical function. Thank you students, take care of yourself.